Start on the 2D side.
No, you're fine.
Do that side first, and then we'll switch over to the 3D and cover the 3D side. Alright. Is everybody familiar with EagleSoft and how to get to this screen?
Yeah.
Right here? Okay. So from this screen, you're going to select your panoramic template and hit the Acquire button. That's going to open up our interface. It's going to automatically connect to the pan and give you a green ready once it's communicating to the pan. And then it'll open up our device view. On the device view is where you can select your different programs for the pan. The programs are all listed on the left-hand side. From top to bottom, you have your adult pan. Then you have your pedo pan. You have an extraoral bite wing. Then you have a lateral TMJ shot. Since you have a 3D machine, I doubt you would ever use a lateral TMJ shot in 2D mode. If you want the TMJ, you'll probably take a 3D scan from the get-go. As you select between each of these programs, it'll show you in blue what's going to be radiated, and it'll give you a preview image of what that particular program does. You can also turn off areas by clicking them, turning off the blue, and you'll notice how at the bottom it'll gray out the area as well. It can be really valuable in those cases where you're going to take an extraoral bite wing. If you might just need one side, you can turn off one of the other sides. The bite wing program is not really designed to replace your intraoral sensors 100% of the time, but for shallow palates, tori, gaggers, patients who just don't tolerate a sensor, it's a great modality to have on the machine to be able to take a bite wing. And it's essentially a 4 vertical bite wing series on each side. Beneath the 4 programs, you have your patient size indicator. First, I'll go back to the programs. The pedo pan, I would suggest for anyone that is 8 years old or younger. If they're 8 or 9 and younger, we're going to use a pedo program. And then we're going to use the defaulted middle person for the pedos. It's already got a lower radiation factor built in for the pedo patients. We're going to use the pediatric pan. Once we're over 8 or 9 years old, we're going to use the adult pan. And then we're going to need to select the patient size indicator. For all of us here, I would again use that middle patient as an icon. If you have someone that might be an older person that's frail or has osteoporosis, you might go in and select the smaller patient. If you have someone that's just really big mandible, really thick bone, maybe bump them up a level to get the same image quality. But on average, you're going to be on that middle icon. Beneath the patient size indicator, you have a test mode button. If you turn that on, it zeroes out all the values for radiation. What that allows you to do is for the given program you've selected, it allows the machine to operate in full rotation without giving off any radiation. I tend to use it for patients who've never had a pan or a CT before. They're apprehensive about putting their head into the machine. They can stand here, you can push the button, they can see the noise that it makes, you can see how close it's going to get to their face, and nobody gets radiated. The key to remember with test mode though is if you put it into test mode, it stays in test mode until you take it out of test mode. So if you do operate it that way one time, be sure to push the button again to deactivate it. Otherwise you'll position the patient, go to shoot the real thing, and nothing will happen. The T button is on here, as well as on the side of the column as well. Any questions on those buttons? Okay. If a few of you want to come in, I'll explain the buttons that are on the column over here.
Hi. Kiss me.
Wants to come in.
Okay. So the button that you'll push the most is the home button. The machine will also, the device will tell you which button you need to push and when. So the home button is this button that's all by itself out here with the reverse circle arrow. The T button here again is your test mode button that you can toggle on and off between the device view as well as on the machine itself. You have a light bulb button that will turn your positioning lights on and off. And then you have your up and down indicator. That's the trickiest part of the machine, is the up and down. Just pushing the arrows doesn't do anything, but it's rather a slide. So use 2 fingers and start low and move high to move the machine up. You want to move the machine down, start high and slide low. Again, just pushing the arrows won't do anything to move the machine up or down. In the middle we have a bank of lights. Green means it's ready to go and take the exposure. If the question mark and the light up here ever blink blue, it means it's having an issue communicating with the computer. And first step is to hit the home button just to make sure that doesn't clear out the error. If hitting the home button doesn't clear out the error, call me or call tech support. They'll need to log in. And the top light is for radiation. While the machine's in operation, it'll light up orange. And that's all the buttons we have right here. Anybody else want to come look at the buttons real quick?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were still in here, Brooke.
We have the home button here.
Two of them did, but one didn't.
I was just gonna lean on you, girl.
On me? I
Yeah.
couldn't see the
That's
laser.
not crap on you.
So that's why I put the school in there.
Oh.
Slide high,
For me,
slide
because
high,
I'm short.
slide low. Especially if you love
Yeah, like,
I'm sure I will.
but he asked me how tall was he? He was tall. I mean, he was almost.
If you want to come back in with the camera, I'll show you the head support. So the head support gets locked into place by this
They're
lever
gonna get sick.
on the left hand side. If you open that up, it loosens up the head support to allow the patient to come in unobstructedly and be positioned, because you're going to want to do the chin down positioning for your pan. By having this freely movable, it's not going to impede against their forehead as you go to position them. Once you have them lined up with the Frankfurt horizontal light the way it's supposed to be, you can slide the head support up and down, get the angle just right, lay it against their forehead, lock it back into place. The knob on the back turns in the temple supports. Then you have an additional head strap that you can tighten either from the top, or you can fold it down behind the head and tighten it from behind. It is removable, it just snaps on. I tend to use this mainly for your really fidgety patients, if they're really wobbly, to strap them in to keep them from moving. Once you have them positioned, have them close their lips, swallow to get the air out of their mouth, keep their tongue to the roof of the mouth, and then come outside, push the exposure button. It's a 9-second scan time. You'll hear a 3-bell chime when it's done. After you hear the 3-bell chime, you can let go of the button. You'll put a preview image up on screen. When you see that preview image, just hit the green check mark at the bottom to clear it out. And that'll basically drop the image back into EagleSoft for you. Which we can go ahead and do. Take a scan of my phone. If you want to come out, we'll actually take a shot. Click that button for me. Yep, pull it down. Keep it pressed until you hear the 3 bells.
And there goes his phone.
Happens every time. There's our preview image. So here we have the green check mark. We're just going to hit that green check mark. In the background here, we have the ability to return all. You'll only have one image. It will always say return all. So just click the return all button. It'll drop it into EagleSoft. And then all your tools that you had in EagleSoft before, they still apply. With your enlighten and your zooming in, lightening and darkening. Any questions on the pan side? Pretty straightforward. Yes.
When I was taking one the other day, like, you know, you line up, it says to line it up. I watched the little video, but like, the canine. Now, what if they're, because there's no way you can move the chin.
The lights don't move.
Yeah. Oh, so it's just more the orbital.
The
than
orbit line, right? So
Okay.
you want to try to get that Frankfurt horizontal line
Yeah.
parallel to the line that's shining at the face. What the machine will actually do, if the canine light doesn't align, it's not a big deal. The
Okay.
machine takes 5 pans in one scan, and it pulls out the sharpest layer automatically.
Oh. Okay.
And it'll return that picture for you.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a